Hi guys, and welcome to my watch along to the 2020 Belgian Grand Prix. It'd be round 7 of the FIA Formula World Championship, and um, yeah, we all thought it was going to be a wet weather race, to be honest. But they're now saying it's going to be a very dry race. Might be a chance of rain towards the end of the Grand Prix. Um, but other than that. Um, it's the usual up front. We've got Hamilton on pole, Bottas second, Verstappen third, Ricciardo with an amazing performance in fourth from the Renault. And actually both Renaults, fourth and sixth, Albon fifth, with the Ferraris 13th and 14th. So what I will do, and they're just going through the grid now. So yeah, Hamilton pole, Bottas second, Verstappen third, Ricciardo fourth, Albon fifth. Ocon, then Sainz, Perez, Stroll ninth, Norris 10th, Kvyat 11th, Gasly 12th, Leclerc and Vettel 13th, 14th, Russell 15th, Raikkonen 16th, Grosjean 17th, and they've just taken away off the bottom of the screen the actual rest of the grid. But yeah, so looking forward to this one. It'd be interesting, especially since that the Mercedes are starting on the medium tyre. I think also Red Bull are starting on the medium tyre as well. Whereas the Renaults, I think, are on the softer. But it'll be interesting because first lap, I think, will be key to the start of this race. Because you've got turn one and then you've got that long drag all the way down to pretty much Les Combes, which is as you're flat out through a Rouge and everything. So usually you end up about 3-4 cars abreast by the time you get to, I think it's they call it turn 5. So yeah. Also, this weekend it's been a bit of a sort of emotional Grand Prix for the paddock. This time sort of last year was that horrible accident with Hubert, and I mean, thoughts to his family, who came out to the circuit for this race, as well as Carrera, who's now out of hospital, but obviously with like massive injuries still with his fractured leg and everything. So, yeah, but I doubt to see. I doubt to see that Leclerc will repeat his victory from last year, because Ferrari are just are going to be sort of stuck in their position until probably 2022. Hi, Grant. Yeah, Mercedes just are unstoppable right now, and their only real challenges at the minute, right, with Ferrari the way they are, Red Bull. But with Ferrari the way they are, it's sort of starting to open the door to the likes of McLaren, Racing Point, and Renault, who've made massive improvements from last year, I feel. McLaren seems to be struggling this weekend compared to previous. But I believe we've got this Grand Prix, and then Italy is next week. So needs to be something else to watch next weekend as well. So, but yeah, so we are 20 minutes away from pretty much the start of the Grand Prix, which is the formation lap. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. How do you see this race going? Do you see Hamilton being able to do what he did in Barcelona, or do you think that Verstappen can actually do something? Can he actually like get in between the Mercedes and sort of cause havoc with them. Because I think if Red Bull are going to influence the race and the race result, Verstappen or Albon or even maybe Ricciardo, but I doubt Ricciardo over a race distance will be able to keep the pace up. Will have to get in front of one of the Mercedes. So, plus, do you think Bottas can actually fight back with Hamilton? Because Bottas really is now 30 points behind, I believe, Hamilton, or more than that, because actually Verstappen's second. And he really needs to fight back, though Hamilton's just looks so dominant this weekend. He needs to sort of come out and win this Grand Prix if he wants to stop Hamilton making title number 7 this year, which just looks completely on the cards. But yeah, so we're just showing on Sky about Alex Albon and some of the criticism he's getting. I don't feel that. I mean, he's got, obviously everyone's comparing him to his teammate in a minute, and like as much as I don't like Verstappen, you can't deny his talent, and it is a massive sort of challenge to compete with Verstappen. I mean, Ricciardo struggled with it, but then again, I think even Ricciardo towards the end of 2018 was the better driver. I think it's just his reliability towards the end of 2018 before he left. Before he left Red Bull was holding him back, but since then is Verstappen's seen sort of mould the team around him, and that's why I think it's been difficult for Red Bull to try and find a teammate that can challenge him. It was like with Schumacher with Ferrari, is that Barrichello was always a great number 2, but could never really challenge Schumacher because the team was just moulded around him. And I think that's what the great drivers, and I think that's probably, you can also say that with Hamilton Mercedes, and that's why, especially since Rosberg's left, is that Bottas has been struggling to compete with Hamilton. But then with Hamilton's form, I mean, his numbers speak for themselves. You're always going to struggle to compete with stats like that. And I think we've just had some breaking news here. I think Sergio Perez, sorry. Carlos Sainz in the McLaren will not be starting this Grand Prix. I'm just gonna double check this now, but from what I'm hearing on, oh yes, I mean McLaren had just tweeted, and I've just looked it up on Sky. Carlos Sainz is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. He will not take place for the formation lap, or even make the race start, or even make it to the grid, because he has an exhaust problem with the car. So it's all down to Lando. So that's a big blow for Carlos Sainz. And yeah, it all rests on Lando Norris for McLaren today, who, like I said, have been struggling this weekend. And their struggles continue this weekend with Sainz. I feel sorry for Sainz in a way, because of the fact that he's decided he's going to go to, and I believe we have a guest on here before I say that. Hello.
Hello, brother. Good.
Mate, I can't see you. You're black. You got a black screen.
Wait, hold on. How comes? Hold on.
I don't know, mate. Is your camera working?
I'm checking now. Yeah, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna
Do you
restart.
use your Have you got a laptop you can use? Yeah, it's just sometimes it's easier doing it through a laptop because it's sometimes difficult, like keeping the phone up and everything. But yeah, it's my mate, Mr. Fury. He will be back in a minute. Some technical issues. Hopefully, it's not like Science in its terminal. But yeah, drivers making their way to the front of the grid for the national anthem. There will also be the Black Lives Matter movement, and there will also be the Black Lives Matter movement. There's as F1 call it, we race as one movement, and we'll also have a minute silence for Antoine Hubert. I did say that. And by the way, Mum's here again in the chat. Right. Right. Let's see if this works again. Oh, it's better. How are you?
I'm like yourself.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Right. What are your thoughts on today? Today?
What is about Lewis Hamilton win? That's all.
Oh yeah. Do you think like Verstappen could, if he gets in between Mercedes at the start, can make a difference?
Yes, he'll make it difficult. But I think if the guys do the job, we get a job done.
I think it's like Hamilton. When you start from pole here, after turn one, you've got that long drag to all the way to Le Combe, which is like flat out all the way. And it's so easily just to be mugged with a slipstream. So he needs to get a really good start from turn one to get a good enough gap. Otherwise, he'll struggle to keep the lead.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes it's not that pivotal to stay on pole at the start of this Grand Prix.
So true.
But yeah, your thoughts on? They're just showing the F1 end of racism video. What was your thoughts on yesterday, mate?
Amazing. I'm so pleased.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased, man.
Well, I saw. I think I saw a tweet of Drifty. Like he was like sort of joking about the fact we were celebrating a 1-1 draw. And I'm like, look, mate, right? You should have. You all kept saying you were going to batter us.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
Right, and if you looked at the lineups at the start of the game, right, you should have battered us.
Because
on paper we should have been mugged.
Of course, because their lineup was basically full strength, apart from two players. See,
apart from like 1 or 2 players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just, yeah, it's, like I said, it's a great start for a season.
Of course, very good start.
Now we just need to sort of build on that, and
we need to buy sales to sell the players the the deadwood and sell ASAP.
yeah, but I want to make sure we get the signings first. Once we get the signings, I want to get signings first, because I know what Arsenal like. They'll get rid of all the deadwood, then realise they've got no signings.
Yeah.
And then we're screwed. But what am I just going to do here? What I'm also going to do is, first of all, if anyone wants in the chat wants to come on, here's the link. Right, feel free to come on and join us.
I won't stay silent against racial discrimination and inequality. I believe everyone should be treated equally. The stand is solidarity in the fight against racism.
Rod.
In the fight for equality. I'm part of the movement to fight for a better future for us all. Let's all do our part. Let's all do our part. Let's all do our part. Let's all do our part.
Mr. Fury.
So let's all stand up to make everyone see the beauty of it. I stand against racism. I am part of the movement to fight for a better future. Let's all do our part to put an end to racism. To end racism in the world. Up here, we're about to have an inside chat on him, but his mother, Natalie, is there. Again, friends and family all here and all united for in support of the friend that they lost. See the respect still being paid. We can see the spirit that everyone's in before this race, but at the same time, you've got to pay respect. You just hope.
I'll come back shortly. I'm going to go to Tesco's. I'll come back shortly, brother.
Yeah. By the way, Mr. Fury, when you come back on, right, can you make sure your TV's turned down? Because otherwise, I could get copyrighted.
Of course, yeah, definitely. I'm doing it right now.
All right. Cheers.
And is now silent now.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll come back shortly.
You can have it on. Just make sure it's not loud enough so it comes through the stream.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Cool.
Yeah, be back.
Yeah.
Right. So while he's doing that, I will just say. So whilst he's doing that, I'll just say here, like yesterday I said, the Just Giving page from last Wednesday is still up. We've raised £461 so far, trying to get to £1,000 for Children's Liver Disease Foundation. Please, please, please donate what you can and support this great charity. It's what this channel's for, as well as talking about football and F1. Like the main thing is about raising awareness about liver disease, and yeah, please, whatever you can, it'd be much appreciated. Yeah, I'm doing good, Dylan. How are you? Let me know your thoughts on today. If you want to come on, links here, by all means, if you want to come on, whenever you say. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. A Grand Prix. I've always loved the Belgian Grand Prix. I think it's a great one. Looks like we're going for. Yeah, I've heard like you've been in a lot of talks with Van der Beek. I rate him. He's a good player. I think it made a great addition for Man United. But I think all Man United fans are just desperate to see this Sancho deal done. 1 minute it's on, 1 minute it's off, 1 minute it's on, 1 minute it's off. I don't see why Man United get it sorted now. Oh, come on. I know. Why can't they just announce it now? Aubameyang sign it. Right. Just put us out of our misery. What? Maybe it's the 14th. Maybe it's the 14th of September. 14/14. Right. Maybe that's the date we that's the 14th we should have been looking at. Yeah. Great result yesterday. Aubameyang stepping up as usual. Captain's performance. Great performance by the team, and it was a weakened team as well. So against a very strong Liverpool side. So yeah. But yeah. Like I said, today it's all about the Belgian Grand Prix, and drivers are now just getting themselves ready to get in the cars and give it another 10 minutes and we should have lights out. I mean, you can see with Ferrari, just how look. I mean, they're showing a midfield battle, like Racing Point a third, McLaren a fourth, Ferrari a fifth, and Renault a sixth, right? And like, I even see Renault getting above, like, even though they're 36 points and Ferrari is 61 or everything, I still see Renault probably even catching them up. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was a telling point towards the end of what I saw with last season is that your first 11 was great, but your bench was poor. So, which is why you need more squad depth. So, getting Van der Beek and Sancho and that is key for your guys. But then again, that's what I've always said as well, is that is Sancho the be all and end all, or do you really need to get a few players so that you have got a bench instead of just getting one player? So yeah, I saw someone who just came on, but he's disappeared again. So but yeah, if anyone does want to come on, like I said, there's the link. Right, feel free to join in. But I'm hoping again it'd be another. But like I was saying with Ferrari is that just what Dan is that Daniel James? Yeah, yeah, he wasn't bad. I mean, I think his form dipped a bit towards the end of the season, but then as a youngster, you would he's still a young talent, so you would expect a dip in form at some point. I think Saka in the second half was absolutely puffed out. He should have came off 20 minutes before he did. So, but yeah, he's a potentially good talent for you guys. But like I was saying, just saying before, I'm with Ferrari, is that don't forget they're 13th and 14th. This time last year, like Leclerc was on pole. That's how far they've fallen. Right? It seems like everyone else has moved on and got faster, and they've just stayed where they are. Right? Or even then, they've actually, when I looked at the comparison, so they did a comparison on YouTube of the two laps, and they actually have lost pace. They've been slower. Right? And it's not just in a straight line. It's a shame. I was expecting a good himself. He didn't. Yeah, I think that's probably because he probably didn't expect like the midfield you had at the start of the season. Because I remember when the transfer window ended, you had no sort of backup for the midfield really. So the midfield you were lacking, and that's why you had to go out and get Bruno. So um, that's why he ended up playing so many games. Is that I feel is that you didn't have that much of a midfield. So but there you go. So please, anyone in the chat, give me your top three predictions. Do you think it's going to stay the same as it is on the grid with Hamilton first, Bottas second, and Verstappen third? Or do you think Verstappen can win? Or do you think Ferrari can get even in the points? I think Leclerc will get in the points. I think Hamilton will win and Verstappen will be second with Bottas third. Who would have been your best signing of last summer in the Premier League? Well, if you're saying last summer, Bruno wasn't until January. But if you're going to include Bruno, then I think Tierney, if he didn't have the injury he had at the start of the season, would have proved himself to be the best signing, right? But even then, Right, in the games he played, he proved that he was way worth more than 25 million. Right, it's like we just it's like I said before, it's like we've gone and robbed, just done daylight robbery to Celtic, which was why a lot of Celtic fans were sort of not happy that the fact that one, they let him go, and two, they let him go for that price. So uh, much about yeah. Sorry, I meant last season. Yeah, I mean Bruno. Obviously, you can saw by how you picked up in the second half of the season how much of an impact he made. Um, but it'll be interesting to see when he gets the first full season now, what he does. So, which will be what 2 weeks time now. So, and 2 weeks time, actually, we've got Fulham Arsenal, um, quarter to one kickoff on Saturday the 12th, which will be live. So I'll be doing a watch along to that. So you can tune into that, which should be an interesting start of the season. It'll be also interesting to see if Arsenal can capitalise and build on the Community Shield win and start playing more expansive football against the smaller teams. So I think that's where we sort of struggled in a sense, because we were struggling with creativity and that. But here we go. Right now, don't I see you don't much about Formula 1. So there's 44 laps for this Grand Prix. Usually lasts about an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. They'll have this where they'll start at the minute. They'll do a formation lap, which warms their tyres, their brakes. Because if you go into the first corner full throttle with cold tyres and brakes, you're just going to go straight on and might have an accident. So they get like a formation lap to warm their brakes, warm their tyres, and before lining back up on the grid and going out. And but yeah, so as they're going off for their formation lap, Carlos Sainz just giving their his reaction to not being able to start, and that's the big news is that Carlos Sainz will not start this Grand Prix. He's not on the grid. He's got an exhaust problem with the car, which means he can't take part. So it's Lando Norris in the sole remaining McLaren to try and get some points for the team and recover, which has been a bit of a dip this weekend for McLaren. So off they go now on their formation lap. And like I said, they're just warming tyres, warming the brakes, and weather looking like it doesn't look like it's going to rain at all. And it should be a straightforward one-stop strategy. So yeah, it looks like a very standard one-stop strategy. And then we won't even have to use the hard tyres either. So So here we go. Then now coming through to the last sector. And this is where Hamilton will bunch the field up, because you don't want to have, you don't want to be miles in front when you get to the grid and the field spread out, because you'll be sitting on the grid for ages and you'll just lose tyre temperature, as well as build up as well as overheat the engine and stuff, because the only way you keep the engine cool and everything is by actually racing the car. It's the only way it's cool. There's no cooling systems, so you're the cooling and heating system. So yeah, he will be bunching up the field just now as he is here coming through the last corner. So like I said, Hamilton pole, Bottas second, Verstappen third, Ricciardo fourth, Albon fifth, Ocon sixth. Then it's the 2 racing points. Norris ninth, will now be ninth because of Sainz. And Magnussen, last drive on the grid, coming up to final corner to line up on the grid. Here you go, always a nervy moment. Green flag's been waved. 3 lights, 4, 5. Lights out. Good start by Hamilton. Right, so is Verstappen. Verstappen's going to... No. Hamilton gets away well, but he's got Bottas all over the back of him. Bottas will probably get slipstream down to Lecom as they go through to Rouge. But then Verstappen's going to get a toe. Verstappen's going to get a toe on Bottas here. But Hamilton's now keeping right behind Bottas to give him the slipstream. So he keeps Bottas behind him. But now Ricciardo's trying to get round the inside of Verstappen. And he's got... Oh! And he's still fighting Ricciardo. But I think Verstappen will just keep... Yeah, Verstappen just keeps Ricciardo at bay. But the 2 Mercedes working together to keep in front. Hamilton first, Bottas second, Ricciardo fourth with Verstappen third, Ocon fifth, Albon dropped to sixth. Leclerc's had a great start. He's up 4 places to 9th. Vettel's up a place into 13th. Norris has dropped to 11th. So as they now come through to Blanchimont for the first time, Hamilton's stretching out the lead. And Sainz has had a terrible start. Right, he's dropped 13 places. Apart from the fact he hasn't actually taken the grid. Oh, is Kimi Raikkonen going on the inside of Russell? And the AlphaTauri of Gasly challenging Perez. And Gasly gets through Perez on a Rouge. What a brave move. And now Norris is going to try and have a go at Perez. Perez is coming back at Gasly. But Gasly just keeps in front as they go for Lecom. So the field now just settling down. Hamilton was still just the second lead over Bottas, so keeping it at DRS range. So Bottas comes out with the fastest lap after lap 2 with a 150.1. Hamilton and Bottas trading fastest laps on that lap. And Leclerc has had a really good start. He's now from 13th position to 8th. So, like I said, I did say he would try and get in the points. And it just shows again the talent he's got. But he's going to be under pressure from Gasly here. And Gasly's got past Leclerc. Right, again, Ferrari just struggling in a straight line. Right, and they've hardly got any wing on the car at all. So it's not like it's just natural drag. Look at that, Ricciardo trying to go around the outside of Verstappen. Showing a replay of that. Right, Ricciardo, when he goes for it, he goes for it. Oh, tell you what. Gasly squeezed through there, really had to sort of have the bottle to do that. And I tell you what, if they touched, that would have been a serious accident. So again, the field just sort of spreading themselves out now. And Leclerc still trying to keep tabs with Perez. But he's just reported again, like Ferrari, just their straight line speed is gone. Their straight line speed from last year, it's gone. It don't exist. Right? It's like someone's turned the switch off. Right? Or forgot to put the boost button on the steering wheel. So we're now on lap 5. Bottas just outside that 1 second. So Hamilton's still holding him at bay, but from DRS range. But still with the fastest lap. I think Hamilton just managing the pace a bit at the minute. And Hamilton going faster and faster. He's 0.3 faster last lap, and apparently second sector he's gained 0.6, and he's just confirmed that because he's just gone fastest with a 1:49.4. Right, so now he's just decided he's going to put his foot down, and why not? Because like they don't have to look after the tyres this much in this Grand Prix. I mean, they're using the two softest tyres to do a one stop. Because in Formula One you have to use you get three types of tyres: medium, soft, and hard, and you have to use one of them. And I believe Mr. Fury is back. All right. You all right?
Yeah, I'm
It's gone again. Tour. Oh, I can't get. I don't know about Tour de France. Thank you, Asusa 7. Yeah, I can never get into the Tour de France, to be honest. I don't get it too much, but you all right?
good, brother. How you doing? Good?
Yeah. Right, you decided to leave like before the start of the Grand Prix. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
So how did you start? Good first lap?
Really good. Mercedes worked together to keep themselves both at the front. Ricardo nearly got past Verstappen.
Serious?
Yeah. Leclerc's gone from 13th to 9th, but now he's dropped to 11th. And he's struggling. The Ferraris are just struggling. They are struggling in the straights. I mean,
But
we
you
know
but,
they're struggling already, but seriously.
but do you remember last year they were very good in straights. They were very good in straights.
What's that?
Last year they were very good on straights. Ferrari. Last year very good on straights.
They were very good on the straights. But what happened last year is that they had the teams for the next what was it? The US Grand Prix.
Yeah.
They asked for just by the way, yeah. If anyone wants to donate to this page, to the Just Giving page, the link is there. And actually, what I'll do is make it even clearer. Right. Yeah, it's that link there. But yeah, like I said, is that the US Grand Prix, they had an investigation or clarification, let's say, of the rules, and ever since then that their powers dropped. But it's more than just that, mate. It's that their cards just naturally got a lot of drag on, because if you look at their rear wings compared to the others, they are really thin, right? So they haven't got a lot of wing on at all. So it's just natural drag that they are struggling with.
And do you and do you think
Hello.
Hungary will head?
So hello.
Yes. Yes, went. Oh yes.
Hang on. Hello.
Oh, Stephen, so am I interrupting?
No. You're all more than welcome, mate. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm listening now. I'm just listening.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think at the start of the Grand Prix?
Sorry?
What do you think to the start of the Grand Prix?
No, I don't know much about it. I'm just following you up. I'm just listening to your analysis. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, is that Ferrari they were strongest in a straight line.
Yeah, they were.
But after sort of clarification with the rules, they
You're gone.
yeah, after sort of a clarification with the rules, they in the US Grand Prix, they it was something to talk about oil burning or something like that. And
Yeah.
ever since then, that the power significantly dropped. They were still fast in a straight line, but not as fast as they were. So part of me thinks of some of their power gains have not been legal. But even then, this season, their cars just naturally struggling in a straight line, as well as lacking in downforce, which is why they are where they are. And the fact is that it's like they've turned around and said they're not going to change that. It's not going to change until the new rules. And because of obviously the pandemic, the new rules aren't coming in till 2022.
Wow. Wow. 2 years time.
Well, yeah, because they can't do it now because no team has had the revenue from the Grand Prix to be able to build the next car.
Yeah.
So they've had to put back the rules a bit. But yeah, what it does open the door is it's opened the door to like first Red Bull to be the sole challengers to Mercedes. But you've also got Renault now, Racing Point, McLaren, right? Even Alpha Tauri in this Grand Prix are competing for the points. So, but I mean, look, Leclerc's gone from 13th to 8th for the start on from the first lap, and now he's dropped all the way back down to 12th.
I'll show you.
So, yeah, but Hamilton's still out in front. They're just trading sector times between Bottas and Hamilton. They're basically matching each other, and Hamilton's still with the fastest lap though, and he's just under 2 seconds at the minute. And they're just gradually, and Verstappen just gradually is being dropped again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe we need some rain.
Yeah, I think no. Drives are perfect. His drives perfect.
No, I thought to make it interesting. I'm not worried about Hamilton not winning it, but right, but it would make it more interesting.
True.
What's good to see is that Russell Latifi at the back.
Yeah.
Right, Williams are a lot stronger. They're not being dropped straight away.
Yeah.
Right, they're not. Then like the whole grid is now part of a group. Like you haven't got like the Williams being like the new Minardis where they're just staying at the back permanently.
Very true, yeah.
Verstappen just reporting that he doesn't feel he's getting any grip from the tyres. which probably is why he is being dropped at, I wouldn't say an alarming pace, but just a normal pace.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I've just looked at the clerk, and you'd think he'd be leading because he can't
Of course,
see
yeah.
Kvyat in front of him, and there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Oh, there's a massive accident! Massive accident! Oh my God! Safety car. That is a huge impact. That is screwed. Oh, it's Giovinazzi, George Russell. I see a driver getting out. I see drivers getting out. They're all right. But, oh, man, that is screwed. Are you seeing that?
No, I'm on lap 10 at the moment.
All right. Sorry, but yeah, I had to jump in because that is a serious. And a lot of drivers are pitting now. Some of the drivers at the back are pitting, and why not? I mean, you can go to the hard tyre; it will get you to the end of the race. All right, and if you're at the back of the grid, why not? And Magnussen jumps Latifi in the pit lane. But my God, that was just like that Alfa Romeo is screwed.
Oh my gosh.
Right, that is a serious accident. Right. I mean, even though you're going through that section, you're still going through about 150 mile an hour. And oh God, oh no, Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen trying to avoid the punches of debris. Oh, I hate it when they do that.
Yeah.
Right. Jesus Christ. I don't think it's on fire. It's just the heat from the engine. So what happens here? It comes
Oh my
around.
gosh. Yes. Now. Fucking hell.
Whoa!
Oh my god. What's an accident?
Whoa! George Russell just went out. Just spun out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so George Russell spun out of the second part of that chicane.
Yeah.
Right. Hit the wall, and it's obviously bounced back out straight into Giovinazzi's path.
Oh my gosh. No way.
Whoa! Oh! And here we go again. Verstappen just gets an unsafe release straight into Bottas's path yet again. Right? How many times are they going to get away with it? Right? Until someone gets killed.
Exactly. Not
Right?
good enough. Not good
That
enough.
is twice he's been released into the path. In 2 years, that's twice he has been released in the path of Bottas. Right? The first time he put Bottas in the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Right? This guy and Red Bull are not going to learn, right, until they actually punish them.
Of course, yeah.
Right? Drive through, end of. Right? Because if you kill someone if you hit someone in that paddock at 50 mile an hour, you kill them. Oh no, Giovinazzi spun off and then gone. And George Russell trying to get out the way, and he was already going off because he was getting out of the way. Well, that makes no sense. Oh no! Thank God for the halo.
Yeah.
Because Giovinazzi's gone in the wall, lost the wheel. The wheel's come off the tether. That's how much of an impact it is, right?
Yeah.
Because those tethers are meant to keep the wheel on, right? And he's hit the and obviously trying to get out of the way. The wheel's just gone straight into George Russell's right front suspension, and taking him out. So, but yeah, now the leaders have pitted as well. So Hamilton's now on the hard tyre. Bottas and Verstappen, right? Luckily, no one was killed in the pit lane,
thank God.
right? Especially since it's been a year since someone died at this Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, if I was Hamilton, right? People say I'm Hamilton biased, right? Yeah, I'm Hamilton biased. I'm an Hamilton fan. But if I'm Hamilton,
Same here.
I'll be going to Mercedes and Hamilton like, what the hell are you doing? Right? You're putting him in some unsafe path. Right? You've got to respect the safety.
Of course.
Right? If you can't respect safety, don't race in Formula One.
Exactly.
Right? Don't be a gardener.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Go paint walls or something. Right? Because, right, there's a reason there's safety in Formula One. There's a reason there's speed limits in the pit lane. Right? There's reasons there's one lane and then there's a separate lane and then there's a separate lane for the garages to keep them separate. Right? That extra lane is not there for you to use as a second lane. Like, it's like going down the hard shoulder of a freaking motorway. There you go. That's my rant over for the day. So yeah, Giovinazzi just loses it on the So Giovinazzi tries to put the power down on the curbs. Because there's no grips on the curbs, he's spun it out, hit the wall, his left front's come off and gone into the path of Russell, who's trying to get out of the way. He's just put the power down too early. And his left rear is just... Yeah, I would have been even more worried if it was 2017 without the halo. I really would have been. But, yeah, man. There you go. Sorry, I missed your comment here, but yeah, Stephen, good win for us. Yeah, it was good win for us recently.
It was.
Very good performance. And like I said, anyone wants to so Giovinazzi, and just to say, by the way, Giovinazzi and George Russell are both perfectly fine. No injuries or anything. Oh, thank you, Ariane. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you want to come on, there's the link. Right, you can have your say. Right, but like I said, I'm all here to just help raise awareness for CLDF whilst talking about my favourite subjects, right, and my passions. So, but yeah, I mean, hey Stephen, hope all is well. Thanks for making our lives better with your channel. Right. So you even got Mum's approval. But like I said, all I'm here is just to try and give something back to a charity that's given so much to me. So, you know, it's nothing more I can ask. And like I said, if you want to donate to the CLDF, if you want to donate to CLDF, there's the link. Please give what you can. Right, it all helps. Like children are born weeks old with conditions that are just horrible. Right, and all they need is support. So So the safety car is going to come in this lap at the end of lap 14. So Hamilton, Bottas on the hard tyres with Verstappen and Gasly. Gasly's up to 4th on the hard tyre. Right? Perez 5th. I don't know whether that's actually Gasly has pitted or not. But I think he has. So Perez has jumped. Gasly, sorry, has jumped Perez and Ricardo, and in a right good position here. Unless he has started on the hards, then that would make more sense. But Mailander in the safety car, seen the safety car, right? Excellent piece of kit that is, right? And yeah, another bit of news with the regulations is that after this Grand Prix, you have to select your engine mode for the qualifying session. You can't change modes during the qualifying session. Probably because Red Bull have been sitting there moaning that they ain't got a party mode, and Mercedes get their party mode because they've got a better engine. And it's not fair. Yeah? Well, you had a blown diffuser, and everyone moaned about that, but we had to build one. Right? It's called Formula One. That's what it's for. We're supposed to develop that technology. And the Hamilton restarts and has left Bottas with a decent gap, and Bottas just needs to be a little bit wary of Verstappen, but I think he's going to have enough gap to just keep him fun. Perez all over the back of Gasly, going for a rouge now, and Perez is going to have the slipstream on Gasly here. Oh, Gasly's just weaving him left and right, which you really shouldn't be doing. Oh, so this will even include the Grand Prix. This is what I don't get. Formula One is supposed to be the pinnacle of motorsport, right? And the most advanced technology on the planet, right? So because one team's been bitching for years because they haven't got which Red Bull have been, because one, they can't build their own engine. Two, they haven't got an engine that hasn't got a party mode, right? So apparently it's now not fair because they don't have that. Well, I'm sorry, mate, right? Everyone didn't have the double blown diffuser you had in 2011, right? When you destroyed the field, and in 2013. But we all had to deal with it, right? So it's called Formula One, right? If you don't like it, don't race.
Exactly.
Right? Build a car that's better. Right? You're supposed to have Adrian Newey, for God's sake. Right? It's the whole point of Formula One. You develop the technology to be faster. Oh, no. 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 He's losing power. Hamilton could be losing power here. I hope he ain't. Oh, don't. No, no, no. Wait. Oh, thank the Lord. They've just come back on the radio. Engineer Bono just reported that it's just nothing normal. It's just energy management. So he's shouldn't be losing power. It should be back to normal. So thank God for that. I hate it when they do that. Because they tell you the first part of the message, but they don't tell you the reply until like half the lap later. So you think half the lap, you're like, oh shit.
And worrying.
But Bottas with the new fastest lap, 1:48.1. He's just in DRS range. Well, say that, he's just dropped out of it. So, just looking at the two Ferraris at the minute. Vettel should get a run on Ricciardo. Should do. But Ricciardo's got a run on Perez and has gone right round the outside into Lecom. Who's in the back? That would be my mum, right?
Hi. Hi, Doc.
So yeah, lovely move here by Daniel Ricciardo. Right, Perez just goes to the inside, but realizes that Ricciardo's got way too much more speed and just runs around the outside. So the idea is now is that this should be a race to the finish, or at least for the front three. And Albon trying to go around the outside of Perez and gets around the outside of Perez. Is there a problem probably with Perez's car? So that's 2 places now. Again, Ferrari, Vettel behind Raikkonen, but because they've got no straight line speed, they are struggling. Ah, Lewis, mate. Okay, get yourself on here. Right, there's the link. Right, show your face, mate. Right, right, it's Lewis. Right, thought you've been a cab. No, phone ain't you, mate. Right, and I'm not saying another word.
Exactly.
No, Fury, what he means is it's my mate who lives up here,
Yeah.
right? And he's a Norwich fan as well, so you can banter him.
Yeah.
Right. But oh no, but we have a caravan that my mum and her fiance have, right, for holidays and that, and it's parked outside in the garden. It makes we've got a massive garden.
Yeah.
So no, sometimes mum needs to like get away from me and Zara and that. So me and my sister and that. So if like her fiance's here, like she can get to the caravan and they can spend some time like away from us, which is nice.
Yeah.
So Perez is stopped now. Why is Perez stopped? So Perez is stopped under green flag conditions when there was a safety car.
Yeah.
Well, that's just that's just dropped into the back of the grid.
Yeah.
What was the point? And Charles Leclerc trying to go on his teammate. Round the outside of his teammate. Oh, did they touch? Vettel literally, I think, nearly just drove his front wing off. Like, mate, I know this is a live stream, but like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to see the ceiling.
Oh, sorry.
Have
Sorry,
you got a
mate.
have you got a laptop?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, he's all right. Just about.
But
I mean,
Perez,
seriously.
but Perez will still get points though. He's still have points.
What, Perez?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Perez is now at the back of the grid.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, he's stopped.
Yeah.
And he stopped when everyone else has stopped under the safety car.
Not good at all.
So what was the point in that?
Not good point at all.
And Leclerc's actually lost out in this as well, because now Vettel is 12th and Leclerc is 13th. But Ferrari are not like moving forward at all. And actually they're being dropped by what's in front of them.
Yeah.
Like Raikkonen and the top 11 are pulling away from the two Ferraris and they're holding up the Hasses. This is how poor they are.
Yeah. So true.
Nice to see you back, mate. Right. I mean, I know they're poor, but like this is just like this takes the biscuit.
Of course, yeah.
Right, and the fact is that if they're struggling in a straight line, what are they going to do when they go to Monza next week? Thank God they ain't got no fans, right, for
Yeah,
that Grand Prix. Right, because if fans turned up there watching their Ferraris like that, they will not be happy. They will be pissed.
Yeah.
Especially if like Mercedes are dominating at the front.
Okay, come in.
So DRS for Ricardo should get past Gasly here quite easily. And just breezes past, and now Ricardo's back up to 4th. Renault really performing well here this weekend. Right, and Gasly picked his fight there. But now Albon will be closing on Gasly. And right, again, Albon pretty decent this weekend. Right, doing okay this weekend. So on lap 22, which is half distance, Hamilton leads with Bottas second, but with the fastest lap. We're 2.9 seconds behind. Verstappen third, which is a further second, 1.2 seconds behind. Then Ricciardo fourth, with Gasly fifth, Albon sixth, Ocon seventh, Stroll eighth, Norris ninth, and Kvyat 10th. Two Ferraris 12th and 13th, and not going anywhere, and look like they're being dropped by the top 11, even though that's Raikkonen in front of them. So, and so far out of this Grand Prix, Sainz, who actually didn't start the Grand Prix at all, didn't even take to the grid for the formation lap. So, because of an exhaust problem, so actually never even got out of the garage once. So, and then a massive accident with Giovinazzi spinning off, hitting a wall, and unfortunately Russell collecting what was a loose, a flying wheel off of that damage. So, but yeah, and as I thought, Gasly hasn't stopped. He's on 21 laps now of those tyres, which is probably why he's now being hunted down by Albon, Ocon. So surprising they did stop him, but I suppose if they've started him on that strategy, then they had no choice but to keep him out. And as it seems, I don't think Gasly will be able to get a point. There's some points after his stop. So Albon's still stuck behind Gasly, six, and he's at the minute. So, and Perez has just passed Latifi. So Perez now back up to 16th. His race strategy has pretty much ruined his race.
Of course.
It's like I just said earlier, that with Gasly not stopping, he's going to lose so many positions when he does stop. So
Yeah.
I think the main thing for him is try and stay out and put some really good tyres on. Unless the 30% chance of rain towards the end of the Grand Prix happens. But I doubt it. I very much doubt it. Albon's closer this time. Should get the slipstream and the DRS. And Albon is through up to 5th. Simple enough overtaking the end. And now Albon can go chasing Ricciardo and see if he can get 4th. Which would be good, a good result for him. If he can get past Ricciardo. Yeah, some clouds building. There are clouds building outside, around the circuit. It is getting a bit darker. So maybe rain. Maybe not.
No.
So Hamilton just sets a new fastest lap. And he's now 3.7 seconds. And Verstappen closing on Bottas here. Verstappen is hustling Bottas. So, and it's Leclerc. Leclerc's pitted. Leclerc's in on lap 25. And is stopped. And a very long stop. And it's just getting bad to worse for Ferrari again.
Yep.
It really is.
But I am a lap behind you.
I'm not that far.
Are you 25, aren't you? 25.
Yeah, I'm on 25.
I'm on 24.
Mm. So just see his pit stop again.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh. Apparently, Charles Leclerc has had to have a top up of hydraulic pressure
Yes.
during that pit stop, which is why it's probably a lengthy delay. So, is he losing hydraulic pressure? If that's the case, then that's really going to make him suffer during the rest of this Grand Prix.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
That's really not going to help his cause at all, which is, well, I think, like, the cause couldn't get any worse, could it?
Nope.
In Ferrari's terms, it couldn't get any worse. And Ocon now, slipstream, massive slipstream on Gasly and just breezes past. And he's now up to 6th. And I don't see where this is going with Gasly, to be honest. I don't see where it's going. I think it's going to be, yeah. It's just going to end up in the same one-stop strategy, but he's going to be way behind everyone else. I think everyone who hasn't pitted during that safety car has really screwed up their strategy. So that's who was that? Perez and Gasly.
First time I've been paid too.
Hamilton nowhere faster than that. They are. You might have Alvivio. If I said that wrong, I do apologise.
Yeah.
And Gasly's pitted. So they've ditched that strategy. He's on now, medium tyres to the end. Now see what he can. Raikkonen reporting he's got a lot of water on his right foot. Under his right foot. Right. Don't know why. Right. Something tells me he's been spinning his drink when going around corners.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I ain't been drinking, officer. I've been spinning it when going around corners. Yeah, I'll and anyone else in the chat, if they want to come on Right, there's a link. Right, and again, like I keep saying, if there's a page for Children's Liver Disease Foundation, if you could donate what you can, that'd be great. It all goes to a worthy cause and helps research, respite, and the fight for liver disease. So please donate what you can. Artistic. Yeah. I mean, he could bring the club back, but I think obviously it all depends on what happens upstairs as well,
Exactly.
and how they
Yes.
spend the money.
Yeah.
So don't hate me as much as. Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the reason I dislike probably United is because I grew up with the Wenger Fergie era,
Yeah, me too.
so obviously had that massive rivalry, and the rivalry between the players as well. So that's why I've probably got such a rivalry with United. Wow, Leclerc wants now Vettel's saying he wants to pick because he ain't catching or going to pass the guys in front. Right. So they can't look after the tyres. They're pouring a straight line. They're pouring down with downforce. Right. I'm wondering whether they should just go buy a Ford Fiesta.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, seriously. Right. Is there anything this car can actually do? Right. Because it's more likely going to travel faster in reverse.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's mind-boggling, right? Like,
Coming
and
back.
Perez now is getting a slipstream. Oh, and he's just breezed past down the inside of Vettel, and now Perez is up to 11th. Perez came from a long way back there, which just shows how far behind, how poor they are in the straight line. Fergie versus Wenger, Arsenal. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, that was a good old days. That was right. Unfortunately, all great rivals like that come to an end.
Of course. Yeah.
Right, the rivalries ain't been the same since, really. I mean, you've had Wenger's and Mourinho's, but it's not really the same.
Not same. No way.
You never know. That might want to get a bit more interesting. Those at Tottenham.
Possibly. Stephen is Leclerc still 17th?
Yeah,
Wow. Oh my gosh.
he's still
I can't believe
17.
it. You see?
Yeah,
Wow. I'm
and I'll
shocked.
tell you what, Leclerc.
Yeah.
If Vettel pitted now,
Yeah.
he'd be days behind Leclerc. He
Of
would be
course. Yeah.
really behind Leclerc. games. Yeah, it's probably because like back then, those games decided the title, really, didn't they?
Of course, yeah.
Right, those were like the games where it would make or break the season. Right, even if it was in the middle of August, like. So yeah, so of course it's as we're not competing for Premier League anymore, it's going to lose its edge. But I still enjoyed the game. I always want to win it. But then again, I like winning I want to win every game, obviously. But there's certain games you want to win the most. So
Of course, totally, yeah. Them and
sometimes I can bear it, especially if it's a
Spuds.
draw or
Numbers.
we played poorly,
Yeah.
right, and we've got to draw something. But if we've played, no, yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
True.
It
That's
decides
true.
Banter FC. Nah, mate, there's only one team that's Banter FC. They play in white and blue.
Of course, yeah.
Right. Got a Portuguese manager as well.
Exactly.
This is my club. This is my club.
And this has been a very good race. Very good race. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a decent race, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think the main highlighting factor again is Ferrari.
Yeah.
Right?
Ferrari have been shocking.
Yeah. I think again is my full sign was full sign away for Leclerc because he's gonna have to take this team forward.
Yeah.
Right? Because as much as Science is coming in next year, right, Leclerc's like the golden #1 driver in that team now. Right? Because he's the future for that team. Right, so he's gonna have to, though he's only in his third season in Formula One, he's gonna have to take this team from 13th to 14th, and then try and win a title with it. Right, it was all right before like Schumacher because he'd already won 2 championships before he went to Ferrari and did what he did. But I mean Leclerc, like you're asking a lot. I mean he's great talent, right, on the track. Right, he's brilliant, but it's more than that. It's like how you build a team around you and everything. So Arteta has won more major trophies.
Truth, isn't it? Truth. The truth.
Look, we don't have to say nothing about Spurs because they can say, like, the stats say it themselves.
Of course.
Right, you don't have to say a word. They can just give it all they want, right? But like, it's all right winning games, but trophies are better.
Exactly.
And Vettel lock up wide, really bad lock up. Another place been lost, and now Vettel down to the unlucky place of 13th. Jesus. I mean, those tires are done. Wow. Look at reaction of Sainz. Right. It's not the fact he's not taking part in this Grand Prix. The fact that he's just seeing he's seeing what Ferrari are doing on the track and knowing the fact he's got to go there. That's what's worrying. So we got 11 laps to go. And Perez comes up for a move on. Raikkonen breezes past into 10th. Takes that final place, points paying place from Kimi Raikkonen. And yeah, I mean, Vettel just falling that down the grid now. I think the fact is they can't even like say they want to bet to try and get a point for fastest lap because they're not even in the top 10 to get that. But everyone who's tuned in and been watching, thank you. As I say, it always means a lot. Yes, it's a small channel at the minute, and trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Got a long way to go, but I know one day eventually we'll get there. But yeah, thanks to everyone who's tuning in so far. It's all appreciated. And Gasly now all over the back of Raikkonen, and that move should be done by the time. Yeah. And actually, Raikkonen locked something. Ooh. Raikkonen right under the gearbox of Gasly, nearly locked up, nearly locking up, going into the back of him. So, but Gasly gets that move done and moves up to 11th. So let me know how you think how the Grand Prix's gone. Yeah, let us know your thoughts and get your questions in because I'll be ending the stream as soon as it's done. So yeah, any questions you have, please ask away. Wow. So Bottas reporting that he's got numbness in his leg. He's particularly left leg for his brakes. So Verstappen now having problems with vibrations. And the only driver really not having a problem with his tyres at the minute is at the front is Lewis Hamilton. And he's showing that in the gaps because he's pulling away even further. Leclerc trying to line up Magnussen. Is Leclerc going to get past? And gets past. So Leclerc moves up to 15th.
Well done.
Right. So Right, so Gasly is actually, though he didn't stop, he's now 11th and he's right behind Sergio Perez in 10th, who didn't stop in the safety car as well. So Gasly, the two guys who didn't stop during the safety car, now on the same circuit, and they're just showing the tyre performance of Verstappen and Hamilton's, and they're not good. 10% to 20% on Hamilton's, and 20% on Verstappen's. So Hamilton just needs to look after probably the tyres now and just bring it home.
And what about Bottas?
Bottas.
Yeah. Don't be anxious, mate. Like the tutors are there to help you. Like if you need any help, there's always the support staff to ask. Right, but you shouldn't feel anxious at all. Right, just take each day as it comes, enjoy it. I'm not going back, and I don't know when I'm going back. After this last week, was told that they can't do anything in terms of fixing my health issues at the minute. Apart from hope it fixes itself. So I'm not going back to uni for this year at least. But don't feel anxious at all. Like because if there are any problems you've got, there's always staff there to help you. Right, and that's all I can say. And plus, there'll be students in third year in the union, and they'll have their own students' union. But there'll be students that are older. Right, they'll be older than you in the same year. There'll be students that'll be in their second, third years, and no doubt, like I've had tutors with them where they've helped as well. So they've come in during a lecture and helped us. So. Locked up. Hamilton locking up and just showing that it hasn't got the tyres left. Can you turn that down just a little bit so I can hear it through the stream? Okay,
That's better. Yeah, top three are struggling with tyre grip at the minute, and it's turning look like what happened with the British Grand Prix. So we've got 5 laps after this lap, and the front three are struggling with tyre grip. Are they going to make it to the end?
Yes.
With the tyres left? I don't know, to be honest, because we saw it with the British Grand Prix. So just keep an eye on the end of this one.
So Leclerc has chased down Grosjean in 14th.
Yeah.
And is he going to get... He's probably a bit far behind to get the slipstream, especially knowing the lack of straight line speed this car's got. But we'll watch it. Mercedes are telling the drivers to avoid the curbs. Another, which again shows us that they're struggling to get these tyres to the end. And they're worried. 5 laps to go now. And Bottas does the exact same copy as what Hamilton has done, which is lock up at the bus stop and go straight on and cut the corner. So, limping home again. Safety car influencing the pit strategy, which is Ocon closing on Albon. Closing. Just backs out of it in the end, and Albon keeps ahead. So Ocon now chasing Albon, who's struggling on his mediums now, and you've got Norris now as well, closing them two down. And Pierre Gasly breezes past Sergio Perez for 9th. So I was wrong. He is going to get points for the end of this Grand Prix. Oh, Christ. So, Hamilton reporting he don't like the feel of the right tyres on the right tyre. Sorry. Oh, I'd hate this. They are limping home here. They are limping home.
And the thing though, there's not much gap between Bottas and Verstappen. So I think he should try and go and win the race. Much of a gap between those players, those drivers.
Well, the top 3 are both. The top 3 are limping it home.
Yeah, they are.
So Hamilton has got the luxury of just taking it easy.
Of course, yeah.
Right. Not having to push too hard. Because Bottas is having to do the same. So's Verstappen.
Of course, yeah.
And as I was saying, it's Leclerc closing in on Grosjean. And Norris is really closed up on Ocon and Albon. So this battle for 5th.
Yeah. Through a battle.
So you got Albon, then Ocon, then Norris has caught them up now.
Yeah.
A bit of a lock up there for Ocon. Oh. And look, Ocon trying to go around the outside of Albon. Albon's just stays in front for Ocon. And just stays in front. And now Norris is going to be all over the back of Ocon.
Yeah.
Right, great defending by Albon. So 2 laps to go now. Right. So, Ocon through the bus stop, still trying to hunt down Albon. He's 9 tenths in front. No. Ocon nowhere near this time. Oh. But Hamilton managing to limp it home at the minute.
Very good.
Yeah. Final lap. Hamilton has started the final lap. So Hamilton coming down the Kemmel Straight for the last time. Oh, he's got 7.6 seconds to play with now. Come on, come on. That's it. Just take it. That's it. Take it easy. Take it easy. No need to push. And Ocon finally gets past Alex Albon for 5th. Norris, I don't think he's going to get. He's going to get sick unless he gets it at the bus stop. But anyway, speaking of the bus stop chicane, Hamilton comes up to the bus stop chicane for the last time. Final corner, round the final corner he goes and takes the Belgian Grand Prix. Hamilton wins.
Perfect.
Bottas will come home second. And Verstappen will bring it back in third. And Ricciardo fourth, who was actually chasing him down towards the end. That's how much they were struggling. And Ricciardo gets quickest lap on the last lap. So he gets the extra point. He takes the extra point away from Hamilton. Ocon will finish fifth. Albon will finish sixth. Norris will finish seventh.
Yeah.
Gasly eighth. And there's a red.
Stroll ninth, isn't it? 10th.
And obviously, because of the length of the straight, they don't go around the circuit. So, top three: Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo fourth, Ocon fifth. Albon sixth, Norris seventh, Gasly eighth in the end, despite the opposite strategy. Ferrari's 13th and 15th, I believe. And Hamilton with that Hamilton with that Wakanda celebration, obviously for that actor.
Yeah.
Who passed away. Yeah. May he rest in peace. And that's his fourth win at Spa as well.
Perfect.
And extends his championship lead still further. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Yeah, Hamilton extends his lead again. So it means that I think he's now 37 or 34 or 40, sorry, points in front now of either Verstappen or Bottas. I'd have to check the actual standings. I'll just check the standings before we go. So Hamilton is 30. No, he's 43 points in front of Verstappen.
Yeah.
Yeah, 43 points for Verstappen. And yeah, and looking like he's rolling away with this championship. The next Grand Prix will be next weekend, the Italian Grand Prix, and I'll be doing a live stream for that as well. But until then, right, thank you to Mr. Few for coming on.
No problem. No problem at all.
Right. And thanks for everyone who's tuned in for the chat. Right, it's been great. Yeah, like I said, smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Yeah, and just a quick reminder of the Just Giving link. Please donate what you can to this charity, CLDF. It would mean the world to myself and the charity. Yeah, until then, take it easy and take care. Goodbye.